In America, when it comes for us, the American, to make decision about any of the foreign policy, whether is a political policy or economical, wartime, or any type of foreign relationship, we must review the history, the event in the past, let's say, century or half a century, and come up with the reasonable and meaningful decision making to manage or maneuver or form opinion, and politically get involved. At this point, one of the most important, one of the most important decision making by American is to either support or not supporting the war in Middle East, whether support President Trump or not to support President Trump, and also form opinion about his performance, or support the opposition, democratic opposition, maybe the lack of support from European that might somehow influence our decision making, or the public opinion, some of the demonstration, some of the foreign propaganda, the Russian and Chinese behavior, the price of the oil, the price of the gas at the gas station, and how much we have to pump in, and how that's going to affect our pocket. Well, let's review this a little bit in more detail. Let's go back to 1979, when the decision was made that one of the most solid friend of United States by many account and many historic event, report by the CIA, report by the FBI, report by many of the politicians that they're involved in the negotiation, assignment in Iran, the relationship between the presidents of United States in different administration and the Shah of Iran, how they decided to topple or not to support. Yes, there was a problem. The Shah of Iran was very strong-willed, strong-minded about progress, about the leading the Middle East, which is one of the most important region in the world with regard to the geopolitically, not only the oil, but also the trade, the waterway, maritime, the neighboring countries, access to the neighboring country, and many other geopolitical importance. Yes, there was some unfortunate authoritarian tendencies, but toppling and not supporting and making the Shah of Iran leave Iran and put one of the most geopolitically relevant country in a platter, in the silver platter, and give it to the Islamic people. They should have negotiated with the Shah of Iran. They should have maybe changed the way of the succession to the monarchy, or put pressure for more democratic rather than changing and give it to the ayatollahs. Well, 50 years later, we realized by the event in Middle East, by the event in Israel, by the event in Syria, the massacre of 3 million in Syria, the event of the war between Hezbollah and Israelis, Lebanon's, by the event of the humiliation of the U.S. Navy during Obama's by Iranian, by many aspects. We see the behavior of the Islamic Republic has not been in favor of relationship with the West and United States. That's 50 years ago. Now go back, bring it back another 10, 15 years and go to the Obama's era. Obama administration, patriotic president, American loving president, with many excellent agenda, start negotiating, and as a result of the negotiation, for almost 15 years that continued with Biden administration, resulted in creation of JCPOA, which was a letter of agreement that Iranian should not speed up their nuclear agenda, but after 2025 they can also speed up their agenda. However, within these 15 years of negotiation, of back and forth negotiation, the Iranian not only pursued their nuclear agenda, not only advanced their nuclear program, enrichment of the uranium and other materials, but also hugely involved in ballistic missiles, drone industries, and many other mass killing munition. And we saw the results of it in Ukraine, the drone. We saw the results of the ballistic missiles that was attacked UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwaitis, Qataris, even as far as Turkey and as far as Cyprus. And then Obama released $500 billion, although those are the Iranian asset, but is Iranian asset, not the mullah's asset. Anyway, what happened? Now the Hezbollah get more sophisticated, the Yemenis Houthis get more sophisticated, Al-Shabaab in Asia, and many African nations start creating terrorism. And during this area, we noticed and we witnessed the San Bernardino massacre. We noticed the September 11 killing of 3,000 American. Many atrocities. European did the same things. More than 470 assassination in the European countries by IRGC, by Iranian mullahs. Well, that's another failure of negotiating with the Iranian, with the clergies and mullahs of the Iran government, which was a failure by a group of the politicians happened to be Democrat. President Bush also did few different tactics, but by attacking Iraq and then continuation and Afghanistan, the all was in what happened was in favor of Islamic movement, with the result of the Taliban, which is another IRGC in Afghanistan. And just today, we heard on the news that they killed many people in the street and wounded many street. The women that they were protesting for their freedom. The same thing happened in December of 25 and January 26 in Iran, which 45 people were killed in cold blood. So Biden continued this negotiation, and all failure, and now we are here. President Trump start fighting with Iranian. Israeli did a good job. They not fully, but maybe 50% destroyed the nuclear facilities. Maybe 50% of missile and ammunition and drone production. But yet, even today, as of today, they are sending all ballistic missiles. And today, the Iranian shot down one of our Apache's helicopter. Thanks God that the pilots are alive. So, having all of those, then President Trump stopped Israeli to finish the job, although hasn't moved any part of the group out of the Middle East, which is the right things to do. The blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, which is the right thing to do. Yet, with all of this ambiguity of negotiation, he comes and he says, we're gonna do this yesterday, we're gonna do this tomorrow, we're gonna do this 4 days from now, we're gonna negotiate, we have a good deal. It is not clear whether even that supreme leader, the son of the Ayatollah, is alive and who is in charge. And I understand that getting involved in a symmetrical fight that Iranians do is very difficult. And Americans are suffering at the gas station, and maybe a little bit of inflation, and maybe a little bit of increase in the prices. But the event of the 50 years ago, the half a century, shown to American that if Islamic Republic of Iran continue to be an active government, and if with their proxy those things gonna happen in the West and America that we never dreamed of. We never dreamed of September 11. We never dreamed of San Bernardino massacre or the massacre in Texas. That's going to happen, unfortunately. So, should we stay in course, and should we encourage President Trump to finish the job, although the price of the oil going to go up? Or should we follow the same narrative that proven to be wrong for the past 50 years by Democrats? And now we are in this situation. There is this concept, historical concept by the Muslims, that Iranian follow this for the past 50 years. They call it artful delay in negotiation. There is two words that I want you to remember. One is taqiyya, one is kitman, meaning that they can lie, they can delay and lie about their diplomatic purposes and use it as a tactic to fool the enemy, fool the opponent. Weaponized negotiation, weaponized goodwill, so-called goodwill, to confuse the enemy and create a symmetrical warfare against America. And that's what they are doing. They are going to Oman, they are going to Turkey, they are going to Pakistan. None of those countries are real friend of America. They need America. None of those are friend of Iranian. Now they need Iranian to benefit from them. But we as American should be aware of this. Iranian are using taqiyya, Ketman, artful delay in negotiation, as an asymmetrical warfare against America, against President Trump? Should we be a little bit more patient? Should we be a little bit more in agreement with some shortages today to be free of atrocities and mass killing by this Iranian, by this extremist in the next 50 years? That's the question that we should answer. Patience, tolerance, tolerating price of the oil for the next 100 years to be free of extremist activity in the United States. Think about this and make a decision.